If you are checking your tire pressure right after driving, you are about to make a mistake that could cost you $300 in premature tire replacement. Here is what 90% of drivers get wrong. Most people think that if their tires are at 35 PSI right now, and that matches the number on their door, they are good to go. But here is the problem. When did you check that? Right after your drive home from work? After 30 minutes on the highway? If you did, that reading is completely wrong. That 4 PSI difference is not a small thing. It is the difference between proper contact with the road and driving on what is essentially an underinflated tire every single day. Here's what happens when you drive. Friction creates heat. Heat makes the air expand. Expanding air means a higher PSI reading. When your tire shows 36 PSI after a drive, that is not your real pressure. It is inflated by heat. Let the tire cool, and you might actually be sitting at 32 PSI, or worse, 30 PSI. Now let me explain what cold actually means, because most people don't know this. Cold tire means your car has been parked for 3 or more hours, or you have driven less than a mile at moderate speeds. Cold does not mean freezing. It means your tires are at ambient temperature, the same temperature as the air around them. That is when you get the real, accurate pressure, the true cold reading. Every single tire pressure recommendation you see on your driver's side door jamb, in your manual, or on the tire itself is calculated for cold tires. Not hot, not warm, cold, because that is the only consistent baseline. Hot pressure changes based on how far you drove, how fast you went, how hot the day is, and how heavy your car is loaded. Cold pressure is the same every time. This is why manufacturers base everything on cold readings. They need a standard that works for everyone, everywhere, regardless of driving conditions. Now let me show you what happens when you adjust based on hot pressure. This is where people make the costly mistake. You drive home from work on the highway for 30 minutes, and your tires heat up. You check the pressure and it reads 36 pounds per square inch. The sticker on the door jamb says 32 pounds per square inch. You think they are overinflated, so you release some air. You lower it down to 32 pounds per square inch. It feels right, but the next morning your tires cool down, and that 32 pounds per square inch you saw is now 28 pounds per square inch. You have just underinflated your tires by 4 pounds per square inch without realizing it. Here's what that does to your car. First, uneven tread wear. The edges of your tires wear faster than the center. Second, worse fuel economy. Underinflated tires mean up to 3% more fuel consumption. That's an extra $50 to $80 a year in gas for the average driver. Third, blowout risk. Heat builds up faster in underinflated tires, especially on highways. And fourth, shorter tire life. You could lose 25% of your tread lifespan. Let's talk money for a second. A decent set of tires costs around $800 to $1,000. If you're shortening their life by 25% because of this mistake, you're throwing away $200 to $300 every time you replace them. Over the lifetime of owning a car, that's thousands of dollars down the drain. Okay, but what if you're on a road trip? What if you have to check after driving? Here's what you do. If your door says 32 PSI and you're checking hot, you're looking for 35 to 36 PSI. That extra 3 to 4 PSI accounts for the heat expansion. But, and this is important, don't just leave it there. Check again once your tires cool down. The hot reading is a temporary band-aid. The cold reading is the truth. If you're on the highway and your TPMS light comes on, pull over safely. Check the pressure. If it's dangerously low even when hot, like 24 PSI when it should be 32 PSI, add air immediately. Don't wait. Just remember to recheck when you get home. Now let me walk you through how to check tire pressure correctly. The best time to check is first thing in the morning, before driving. That means your car has been parked overnight in your garage or driveway, and it has not moved for 3 or more hours. You will need a digital tire pressure gauge. These cost between $10 and $30 at any auto parts store. An analog dial gauge works too, and it typically costs between $5 and $15. Do not rely on the built-in gauges on gas station air pumps. They are often inaccurate, and they have not been calibrated in years. Remove the valve cap and keep it somewhere you will not lose it. Press the gauge firmly onto the valve stem. You will hear a brief hiss. That is normal. Read the number. Digital gauges show it instantly. Analog gauges need a steady hand. Compare the reading to your driver's side door jamb number, not the number on the tire sidewall. That is the maximum pressure, not the recommended pressure. Your door jamb shows what the manufacturer engineered for your specific vehicle. If it is low, add air. If it is high, press the valve stem to release some air. Recheck after adjusting. Always confirm. Replace the cap when you are done. It keeps dirt and moisture out. And here is a PRO tip. Check all 4 tires and your spare. Most people forget the spare. You do not want to find out it is flat when you are stuck on the side of the road with a blowout. Let me tell you about the common mistakes people make. First, check only when the tire pressure monitoring system light comes on. By then, you are already 25% underinflated. The light does not come on until you are seriously low. Federal regulations require the light to trigger at 25% below the recommended pressure, which means you may have been driving underinflated for weeks or even months before you notice. Second, using the number on the tire sidewall as your target. That number is the maximum pressure the tire can handle, not what your car manufacturer recommends. Your Civic might need 32 pounds per square inch, but the tire sidewall says 51 pounds per square inch maximum. Those are completely different numbers. Third, checking only once a year. Tires lose 1 to 2 pounds per square inch per month naturally through the rubber. You need to check monthly at minimum. Fourth, ignoring seasonal temperature changes. For every 10 degrees Fahrenheit drop in temperature, you lose about 1 pound per square inch. Fifth, not checking the spare tire. It needs pressure too, and it is usually higher than your regular tires, often 60 pounds per square inch for a donut spare. And sixth, trusting gas station gauges. Bring your own gauge. This is especially important if you live anywhere with real seasons. If you are in the Northeast or Midwest, you go from 90-degree summers to 10-degree winters. That is an 80-degree swing. Your tire pressure will drop significantly in winter. A tire that reads 35 PS1 in July might be at 27 PS1 in January without losing any air. It is pure temperature physics. Check monthly at minimum. In extreme heat or cold, check every 2 weeks. Temperature has a massive impact on pressure, and most people do not account for this. In summer, your tires might read high. In winter, they will read low. Both seasons require you to stay on top of it. Let me recap everything. Always check when your tires are cold. That means 3 or more hours parked or less than a mile driven. Use the door jamb number, not the tire sidewall. If you must check when hot, add 3 to 4 psi to account for heat expansion. Check monthly or every 2 weeks in extreme weather. Do not forget the spare tire, and buy your own gauge. It costs $10 to $30 and pays for itself the first time it prevents a blowout or saves your tires from premature wear. If this saved you from making that hot tire mistake, hit the like button. If you have been checking your pressure wrong for years, do not worry. 90% of drivers have. The important thing is you know now. Next video, I am covering the coin test for tire tread and why it is completely wrong. It can be even more expensive if you get it wrong. Drop a comment if you want me to cover nitrogen versus air in tires next. See you in the next one.